everybody, and welcome to this the press conference for the UCI Mountain Bike World Series here in Nové Město, Moravě. My name is Randy Ferguson, and we'll be joined today by Simon Andreasen from Canada Factory Team, on the Zinke from Prima Flor Mondraker Racing, Kina Bomb from Cube Factory Racing. We also have Haley Batten from Specialized Factory Racing. And we have with us Leila Nimcevic and Fabian Rabensteiner. Leila riding with Alibike and Fabian with William Vitoria. Factory Racing are marathon racers, as we are welcoming the marathoners here this weekend in Nové Město na Moravě. So we'll start with our first questions. First and foremost, thank you all for coming this afternoon. Much appreciated. Simon, we'll start with you. There you go. Simon, what a rewarding past few weeks for you as you have picked up your second win in Brazil, in Arasha, in very amazing fashion. It was a very, very hard race, as everyone saw. You also picked up a Euro Championship, a silver medal at the European Championships. You were third in Hemig last week. How are you feeling right now? That's a pretty good accomplishment over the last few weeks.
Thank you. Yeah, pretty good. It's really been nice racing this year. I think every race has been enjoyable, so I would say that I enjoy it at the moment.
Simon, what did you do different over the winter time? Because last year, decent season, but this year we feel that it's a different rider that's on the bike. What was done differently in your preparation for the season?
I think a lot of things were done different, but I think it's hard to pinpoint exactly. I think just has a more relaxed approach to everything, and gotta to spend more time at home and not being so much on the run the whole time has really helped a lot. Yeah, working together with the team is really healthy.
It's interesting that you say that, because we were talking to Louis Brunier, who's a downhiller, and he kind of had the same approach over the winter time. Not as much time on the road, chasing after different races and all that, but spending a lot of time closer to home, training in his own stomping routes. Haley, kind of the same question back to you. It's been a great start to the season. A bit of a oops in the first race in Maripora, but you had a strong race there, and in Arasha, while you pulled the double, that was just amazing. Anything in your approach that was different this season?
Sure. Yeah, I think, like Simon said, it's hard to pinpoint one thing, but I think, if I look back on my first year elite, I got on 2 podiums in my first World Cup races, and I think from there, I think I've always been a World Cup podium potential rider and a winning capable rider, but I think sometimes, you come in eager and young and you think it'll all be smooth sailing, and World Cup racing is hard and you have a lot of challenges along the way, and it can't be a perfect trajectory. So I think for me there's been little hiccups on the way, challenges, and I think at the end of the day those have all made me a lot stronger, a smarter athlete. I think I prepare more in the details and with more awareness, and I think all of that has helped prepare me for this season.
Leila and Fabian, you've both raced here before, if I'm not mistaken. First, Leila, and then I'll ask you, Fabian, after. What is the key to winning a race on this course here in and around Nové Město when it comes to the marathon?
Well, I think this course is really special. It's different than all of the courses we have throughout the year and in all the other events. But I think it also depends a lot on the other competitors. What they do, because it's a fast course, it's very tactical racing. So at the end, I think the smartest rider is the one to take it. But at the end, it is a 125 kilometer race. So you have to be fit enough to use your brains at the end of the race.
Yeah, I think quite the same things as Leila, but for sure it's really important to stay calm during the race, be concentrated all the time, because you got about that part, so there's only rolling, and but you are always at the crew, so stay on the weeks and not to over push too much. and save some energy for the last part, because all the small climbs, they are always hard, and you spend a lot of energy. So the last 5Ks, I think, is needed to rest more energy than the others.
For you two, once again, the question, it's been a long time since the last World Cup. We're going back to snowshoe in West Virginia. It was late September, if my memory serves well. How have you guys kept in shape? Have you had other races? I know you did the Cape Epic 5N this year. How have you stayed in shape, and how have you stayed motivated since that last World Cup?
Yeah, we was training all the winter at home, and we had a training camp then in January with the team. So he was also together with the cross-country guys in Spain. And then, we go to Andalusia for the first stage race to prepare the Cape Epic. Also, then we raced the Cape Epic. Afterwards, we was not racing too much. We was staying calm at home, relax a little bit, and then start the preparation for the second part of the season with the first record now. And I do only one race between the Cape Epic and here. And I think was like that.
And Leila, for you?
Well, for me, it was really brutal. I mean, 7 months of preparations. I think I've never had a longer winter season. But I knew if I got through that, would be put on paper, when the racing part starts, it's going to be easy. Because racing is, I think, 4.5 months, and then preparing for 7 months. So if I go through it, if I can, stick it out every day, 5 to 7 hours a day, then racing is a piece of cake, especially mentally. So that's what we did. We also did a Andalusia bike race, it's a race in pairs with the other bike team. I felt really great. It was just a nice motivation to have in those 7 months to see what we need to work on more, and then it worked out, I think, perfectly, and now we have the opportunity to show it finally.
Andre, you're at home, a certain way of speaking. Last year, unfortunately, health issues kept you out of the race here in Czechia. You've had a bit of a rough start to the season, as we were discussing before the press conference. How are you feeling coming into this weekend at home?
Yeah, of course, last year was a little bit sad for me because I was finally healthy and ready to make good result here in front of my fans. But I got sick, and this year was also a little bit difficult because after Brazil I got also sick. So the preparation for this year for Nové Město wasn't perfect. Also start again my allergy and asthma. So it's a hard time, but I'm happy that I'm here, healthy, and I'm able to rest on Sunday and Saturday. So I'm still motivated, and I give it all.
Kira, it was an amazing start to your season also this year. 4 races in Brazil, 4 wins. One thing you said to me in Brazil that I found very interesting is that nothing was acquired. It was going one race at a time and doing one little thing at a time. Is that the way you're approaching the racing again this weekend in Nové Město?
Yes, thank you. I still can't believe what happened in Brazil. It's amazing. In Brazil, I had a good shape, and I knew that I could be on the podium, but I never thought I could win a World Cup. And especially in the XCO, which I'm really surprised myself. But now I really have the confidence. Also, wearing the leader jersey gives me confidence and a lot of motivation. So I take that for here for Nové Město.
We were talking about Nové Město being a very special course, not only in the marathon side of things, but also in the cross-country side of things. For you, Simon, it's a very important course because this is where you got your first elite win back in 2020.
Yeah, I really like racing here. It's lot of memories from even back from the juniors, and I think this is my 10th year racing here, so it's really special place.
It's a question for all three of you because it pertains more to the elite racing. There are some new faces coming back to racing at the World Cup level here this weekend. We'll start with Haley. We'll go with Haley first. Pauline and Pook are back this weekend. Is that going to change the dynamic of racing here in Nové Město compared to Brazil?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I think the big names are coming back now. Also, yeah, I think whenever we're in Europe, I think all the Europeans, the level will rise again. So for me, I think that's the best part about racing at the highest level is, yeah, when everybody's there, everybody's at their best, and the racing's super exciting. So yeah, I think for sure the dynamic of the race will be super intense, and everybody is trying to test things before we get into the final Olympic preparation. So yeah, exciting racing ahead for sure.
On the way, and then Simon, Tom Pidcock is back in the mix. He's going to do a couple of races before he hits the Tour de France and hopefully hit top form when he comes to the Olympic Games. What does that mean for you, gentlemen? Is that going to raise the level, the bar a little bit more? Is the race going to be so much faster because of those dynamics of having guys like Tom Pidcock battling it out?
I think now this year a lot of riders are on a good level, and a lot of fast guys, and with the Thomas Pidcock, of course, will be more interesting because it's other rider for some first group in the race. So I think it will be more dynamic and maybe more interesting.
Simon, you once again in Brazil, you did well. Alan did well. Charlie did well. Is that something that will give you guys a bit more hope or a bit more strength to go up against bigger rivals like Tom Pidcock?
Yeah, sure. I think it's quite hard to compete against if you have three guys riding together and working as a team. So it's definitely an advantage, I would say.
What is the mindset, the attitude, the vibe must be really, really good in the team right now with the way Alan's riding, you're riding, and Charlie are riding.
Yeah, I think we all three really enjoy riding and racing together, and I think it shows in the races and in trainings, and we really have a lot of fun together, and yeah, we help each other out, so that's really cool.
Kira, a question for you. You talked about the importance, especially in Arasha, of playing a tactical game, racing really, really smart. You hung out with the leader group for the longest time. You were smart in letting maybe some of the other women do a lot of the work. Not saying that you were just, joining in and watching them ride, but you chose a very specific moment to attack in that race in Arasha. Is that the kind of strategy you think you'll have to use here on this track now that you've seen it in Nové Město?
I'm not sure yet, but I actually really loved to ride in that group. I really like the battles. It's a motivation for me in the race. So I will see how I feel. But yeah, I guess maybe we will have another nice battles. Yeah.
Fabian, are there any races? We have the World Championships are going back to West Virginia this year on pretty much the same course that you had last year. Are there any other goals for you this season that you said, okay, this is what I'm aiming for?
Yeah, for sure. Next week we have the Italian Championships. It's always a big goal for each rider. To wear the national jersey is a big pressure. So yeah, for sure this will be a big goal, and yeah. And then also the European Championships in August in Denmark will be a big appointment for me, because last year, about 2 years ago, I had won it, and last year become second, so I try to become back this jersey.
Do you think that some other unusual riders will show up as last year at the Marathon World Championships? Do you think they'll make the trip to North America?
Yeah, I hope so, that we are the only riders on the best riders there, because it's always nice to have a good level, and race against the best.
And Leila, kind of the same thing for you. Like when we see a Mona Mittelvan show up at Worlds, is that something that really is you prepare for, you look forward to, or do you just make it as well? No, this is the way Leila's preparing for the World Cup season, and Worlds will be one different thing.
Well, first of all, I always love to have riders from cross country coming and racing the marathon. I think it makes it a lot more interesting. But specifically, I never tend to base my preparations on any other rider because I know when I am the best that I can win the world championship without any problems. So I'm always working to be my best.
That's interesting that you say that, because we asked about the same question to Mona Mittelvan there last year, because it was that dynamics of her training specifically for marathon versus completely different for XCC and XCO, and that's what she said also. I don't prepare in consequence of other riders, I prepare for myself, so very interesting to her level. What changed for you when you went back home as the World Cup overall winner?
Oh my God, a lot has changed. I mean, when I won the title, I thought, oh, this is really nice. But when I went back home to Bosnia, it was really something. I mean, not just the media, but the people started treating me differently, and I got a lot of attention. Yeah, I think it's really amazing to have the UCI World Series also in the marathon discipline now, and the whole sport has risen to another new level. Of course, the courses are now much harder. The women are racing for 6 hours. I mean, it's really definitely hard. I raced in cross country before. I'd say that this is like really hard technically. So yeah, winning the overall title is really a special thing.
Andre, for you, as it's usually the case with a local rider, do you feel extra pressure being at home and racing at home?
Yeah, of course I feel some extra pressure, but I feel also some extra motivation. So I always like to race here in Nové Město because everyone know how is the atmosphere here. So always looking forward for this race, and and during the race the friends give me always some extra power. Yeah.
So does the MC sometimes. Andres, we've been racing here since 2011. What a moment that was when Jaroslav won here at home in 2011. What's your greatest memory about racing here in Nové Město na Moravě?
I think I enjoyed the World Championship here. It was amazing. A lot of fans, and I was riding in the first group with Shoulder, Absalon, and Kulhavi, and it was amazing. In the end, I finished fourth, but this was my best memories from here.
Amazing stuff. Kira, you did well in Brazil. So did Finn Trodler. What were the discussions like with the team following that day? Pretty historic day. You got the first ever World Cup win for the team, and Finn finishing a very close second. What was it like after with the team?
They were all so happy and so proud of us. And I think maybe one of the reasons why we were so good, that we are really motivated each other. So I think after my win in the short track, it was a motivation for him to be on a podium in cross country. And so it was also my motivation after he did that to be also on the podium on Sunday. Yeah.
So you built off that together as we do. Great stuff. Have you raced here as a junior?
Yes.
Okay, so you've all raced here. We heard from Fabian, we heard from Leila, their opinion on this course. I'll ask you, a lot of riders have said this is by far their favorite course. The list is super long. Yes or no for you?
You know, I really like the course, but it's not my favorite one.
Andre, watch out what you say. Yes or no, your favorite course?
Yes, it's my favorite course. Yeah.
Haley?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites for sure.
Simon? We pretty much know your answer.
Yeah, it's for sure also one of my favorites.
What makes it so special? In one or two words, what makes it so special for you?
I think it's just iconic of like real mountain biking.
Good sign, like that.
Yeah, the course for sure is just so fun to ride, also technical and really steep climbs, so it tests like the full rider, I think. And then also the fans and the whole environment is amazing.
Yeah, the course is perfect. We have all, I think, we have steep climbs, a lot of routes, and technical downhills, rock garden, and the fans. It's amazing. Yeah, it's fun.
Kira, what's the special thing about this course? Even if you don't like it. Just kidding.
I have a lot of fun here. So it's a lot of fun to race, especially in the downhills, but also the uphills, technical. So I like it, yeah.
Interesting. Pass the microphone back to. From what my understanding is, you're finishing on the XCO course, right? Most of the finale. So, what will you appreciate? Have you been out? Have you tested the course yet?
Yeah, today I do one loop, but I don't have had the number, so I cannot try the start loop from the cross country. But I will do it tomorrow. So yeah, for sure we'll change a little bit the dynamics. So yeah, it will be really hard to do the start loop, especially with this hard double line climb in the end after 120k. So yeah, I think that can make the difference.
That's why I was asking Leila, are you pretty much on the same level as what Fabian's saying when it comes to this edition? Because it's not something you get to do all the time, is a loop around the XCO course for finishing, especially a marathon event.
Oh, honestly, I think it's something that nobody ever got to do. To race for 120 kilometers, then do a start loop of a cross-country course. I mean, nobody ever did it. So we are going to do it now, and what it's going to look like. I mean, I remember last year, at the end of the race, it was 5.5 hours of racing for women, and it was really all out. There was no pacing. It was really like suffering from start to finish. And when I got to the finish, I couldn't feel my arms, I couldn't feel my back, my legs. So when I transferred that to riding then the start loop, it's not going to be easy.
It'll be a game changer, like Fabian said.
That should be a treat.
Good stuff. Thank you very much. That's all from me, but we'll definitely see in the crowd. We have some people, I'm sure, that would have some questions. Does anybody have a question? Please feel quite free if you want to ask the question in Czech. Jan is somewhere, he can translate it. So please, anybody, don't be shy. Yeah.
Right. I have a question for you, AD. How do you explain that everybody in the team Specialized was on fire in Brazil? He was really fast, but Victor too, Christopher, Martin, for you.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it for sure. I think the whole environment of the team is everybody just meshes so well, the athletes and the staff. I think, you can build off the energy of other riders' success, and it just feels, the environment's comfortable right now. And of course, when everybody's winning, it feels nice and it's good. But I think also, we've had, I think last season, we were all in places to win races and to perform at a high level, but people were struggling through illness or injury. So I think sometimes when a team works through those types of things and grows better and stronger, and you know how to stick together when things are tough, I think then when everybody's succeeding, it feels right, and I think you've earned it at that point. So
that question, I had a discussion with, I won't name the rider, was it a North American rider? He kind of pinned, and I won't say it was a he or a she, but that person pinned that the probable reason of success of a lot of the Americans, because the Canadians did very well, so did some of the Brazilians, on the fact that you're racing in the Americas, pretty much in the same time zone. Do you think that had a definite effect on your performances, instead of traveling to Europe and the whole time difference, the travel and all that, which a lot of our European friends did experience when they came to Brazil or America?
Yeah, I mean, I think one, obviously, the Olympic qualification for all the North American teams, including Canada, was focused on those first World Cups. But I think for sure, I think when all the European riders, all the North American riders, you all have to go to a unique place, find new accommodation. You're not driving from home. You're not flying time zone. And you have like the same type of support system. I think that goes a long way. And I think that's why we saw a lot of riders in the Americas perform at a high level. And I think each year, riders from North America and South America are learning more how to perform in Europe with like support of big factory teams, maybe living in Europe longer. So I think it's just trial and error for each person. But I think also we've seen a lot of American riders on, more supportive team, factory teams. And I think that goes a long way as well.
Interesting. Another question? Please don't be shy. Going once? Good. Going twice? Going 3 times? Thank you, everybody. Best of luck this weekend.
Cool. Great.
Dziękuję. Good.